Alright guys, good morning slash good afternoon to you guys. I am starting to sound a little bit better after going through like 70,000 boxes of tissues and paper towels. I am still gross, but getting there. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for my weather team for being in here. I appreciate you guys on this Sunday as well for being in here. What's up, bro? What's up, Morgan? Good to see you guys over on YT. Alright, let me get a couple things fixed up and set up here. Because for whatever reason, I never have things ready to go, and I think I do and I don't. If you guys will tap that screen for me, please, I would appreciate it. Hey, that's perfect timing. I love that, Meg. Yeah, I was waiting to get on just a little bit later. I didn't get my videos posted out till a little bit later, too, so... thank you for the follows, by the way, everyone that is following. I appreciate it. I'm working on a couple things here. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Ow. Check a couple more things. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, guys. No, this is not projected to hit the United States. No, it is not. We are already seeing a northern turn on our Cat 3 hurricane. I will let you guys know, the latest 2 o'clock advisory just came in. This is still a Cat 3 hurricane. Did drop pressure and wind speed dropped overnight. Sorry, pressure went up, wind speed went down overnight last night. This has been going through an eye wall replacement cycle for at least 13 hours, almost 18 hours now. It has almost got that eye wall replacement cycle complete, meaning we are going to see Erin strengthen again to a Cat 4 hurricane, if not maybe a little bit higher than that potentially in terms of where this goes over the next, I'd say 24 to 36 hours. We could see this strengthen pretty significantly again. But right now, this is expected to go north. This could get pretty close to the East Coast still. We're thinking, you know, some of the ensemble, some of the outliers do still have a curve out here toward the closer to the East Coast. But like I said, there are no ensembles. There is no data. There is no guidance in a United States landfall, and it will stay at that. They're very confident in a recurve. Everybody yesterday was saying, oh, there's not going to be a recurve. There's not going to be a recurve. Well, we're seeing that northern trend very significantly here this morning. So, like I said, if you think it's going to hit the U.S., you are out of luck. You are not probably thinking it through properly, and you need to get your information from here, from something else that's going to give you that information. So, the crazy idea that people still think that this is going to make landfall in the United States is really wild to me, after as many days as we've done talk about this. Yeah, yesterday was wild. Yesterday was a wild day for the stream. Definitely was for sure. But anyways, for people that do think it's going to be hitting the United States, I would love to hear in the chat where you're getting your data from on that. That's the first thing I would really like to address is where are you getting told that it's going to hit the United States? Because that's wild to me. There's not a single ensemble, a single model run that has a United States in landfall whatsoever. This will get close to the East Coast. There will be ridiculous waves. There will be ridiculous rip currents through this week, but there is not expected to be any landfalls. So, love for the people in the chat that say that they think it's going to hit the U.S. to tell me where they think it's going to go, because that would enlighten me a little bit more. Anyways, there is a talk. We do have a storm behind this. If you guys can see, we do have now a 30% chance of a tropical system developing behind this. I talked about this in my video that I posted just a little bit ago. The good news is, there is 2 scenarios here, really in reality, that next week could be. Next week's storm could be a recurve. It is very much possible. The European model ensembles and the European dermatistic model have a weaker storm. If Erin continues to stay at its slow snail pace that it's at right now, and it doesn't get out of here until the end of next week, by the time we're looking at the end of next week and we've got a tropical system developing in this yellow shaded region, it could pull it to the north. We could see a weakness in our ridge again next week, potentially allowing for a recurve or a United States landfall. Both of those scenarios are on the table for next week's system. I'm not going to really talk too much about that quite yet because I'm still waiting for some new data to come in. That and our wave is way, way, way over here. This is our next tropical wave that we are watching. It will move into our major development region by the end of this week, middle and end of this week, and that is where we could see another tropical depression or tropical storm develop, and maybe even a hurricane by the end of next weekend. And then where does it go after that? a lot of questions. We got a lot of things to figure out in terms of what's going to happen with that system. I'm not going to go off of these long-range dermatistic model runs that are showing a Cat 3 in the panhandle of Florida, or a Cat 3 in Texas or Louisiana and over 10 days out. That's insanity, and that's not something that we do here on the channel. I appreciate the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are less than 900 followers away from 100K, so we'll be streaming a lot. Hopefully we can hit that goal. If you guys have not followed, do hit that follow button. I am very much appreciative of you guys for watching, as always. Also, if you were over on YT, thank you for joining in. Samantha, I see you over there, bro, and Morgan, thank you guys for joining in on there as well. But yes, we are super close to 100K, and I would love to hit that milestone, so I appreciate you guys. Yes, we are turning north-northwest. You can clearly see that northern trend. It is actually almost outside the cone here this afternoon. We are seeing a brand new eye wall developing here. This is going to more than likely go through intensification again. We're going to see the storm strengthen again over the next 24 to 36 hours as it wobbles to the north here. Like I said, we've got you guys covered here. I still am trying to wrap my mind around the people out there posting videos that think that it's going to hit the East Coast. Like, where are people getting their data from? Where are people getting their knowledge of it's going to hit the United States? Because that's what really boggles me. Yes, it's going to get close to the East Coast. There may be some tropical storm force winds in Bermuda or along the outer banks of North Carolina, but this is not going to bring any major impacts inland to the United States, anywhere from Florida all the way to Nova Scotia. You guys are going to be fine. Now, the next one we have to watch, clearly, because that may be a threat, but details on that system are a lot more limited than what we're seeing with this system. Yes, it's not going to hit. We're not expecting that at all. I've seen, like I said, guys, I've scrolled last night. I scrolled this morning. The amount of countless people that are just posting that meteorology is wrong and ensembles are wrong, and because the system shifted further west yesterday than what the models and the hurricane track said, means it's going to hit the East Coast and all this BS and bullcrap. Guys, I want you to understand, in the weather world, when you are forecasting a tropical system or a hurricane or winter weather or severe weather, there is always going to be a margin for error. Weather cannot be forecasted 100% accurate at all. It doesn't matter how smart you are, what computer systems you have, there is always going to be the room in the margin for error. That is how meteorology works. So people that are posting these videos, and I've seen it a lot, and I try not to comment on videos just because that's just how I am, but there's a lot of people that are posting videos that have no idea what they're talking about. They're saying, oh, meteorologists, are wrong for, forecasting this. It's going to completely defy the cone. It's going to completely defy model runs. It's going to completely defy ensembles. It's going to hit the US. We're going to have a major, it's just the amount of BS that is out there right now that people are posting that have no idea what they're talking about. Half of these people don't even know what an ensemble is that forecast storms. I've seen some meteorologists comment on some of these people's posts, and they fire right back with their conspiracy theories, and it's just like, you can't change these people's minds. I've really learned that. Yes, Erin did develop quick, and that was anticipated. We didn't know how rapid intensification was going to work, and that's the biggest thing with meteorology, especially in the hurricane discussion side of things. When rapid intensification happens, we never know how that's going to happen. You can't predict rapid intensification in a tropical storm or hurricane. We just know the water temperatures are very, very warm. It's supportive for it. We know that there was no shear, no dry air. So the forecast call yesterday, as we woke up yesterday morning and Erin was a Cat 5, the forecast had called for a Cat 4 at this time today. And we saw that rapid intensification process happen. So there's always going to be error in weather, guys. That's why you have to stay focused. You have to rely on people that know what they're talking about, as of myself and any other meteorologist that's out there that does a great job. There's lots of them. But you guys can't listen to these clickbait videos and these people that fearmonger and that have no idea. If they don't look like they have a meteorological background, or they look like they're in school for meteorology, or they're degreed, or have any sense of knowledge on what they're talking about, slide on, block them, report the post for false information, do whatever you need to do. But that's just insane that people do that. It blows my mind. And this is only the first major storm, not even really major in terms of, United States impacts, but this is, the first system that's been a hurricane this year that we have to deal with. We still have a whole season to go with. So this is something we're going to have that happens all year long. It is going northwest. Yes, it is on a northwest path. Correct. This is the latest advisory here. I'll pull this up so you guys can see. Straight west, northwest, a little bit tiny west. I would say more it's northwest north than anything right now, just given what satellite imagery is showing us because of that wobble. But this is, let me pull it up so you guys can see here. This is the latest forecast cone as of the 2 o'clock advisory. This just updated here not too long ago. Winds are at 125 miles per hour, so this is just sitting at Cat 3 status. This is expected to strengthen again into a Category 4 hurricane by tonight, if not by early tomorrow morning. Pressure is at 946. We have a new airplane that's going in there now. Recon will be going in there to get us data, so we'll see what that live data is over the next couple of hours. But, guys, as I mentioned, this little blob up here, I mentioned this yesterday in the last couple of days. This is not expected to do anything. This has got a 10% chance of turning into something in the next day or two. Not going to happen. This is what we're watching behind Erin. This is what a lot of people are talking about. This is what a lot of people are getting, I guess, concerned about. Remember, we're over 7 days out from our next system developing. We got a lot of time to watch. And honestly, right now, with what the GFS and the European ensembles are putting out, at least this afternoon for lunchtime hours, a lot of these models are also showing a recurve on our next system. That Bermuda High may be just weak enough potentially for our next system to squeeze in and out. We don't know that officially yet because the system hasn't developed yet and it's not anything close to being that way yet. But as we go closer throughout next week, we're going to be updating you guys. We're going to be doing live streams. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be doing coverage if we need to do coverage. We've got you guys taken care of here. The latest track on Erin, an out to sea curve. Once again, there is not a single ensemble that exists in our meteorology database or model run that has this making a U.S. landfall whatsoever. That is just not a thing. That's not a thing. It has it getting close. I think the Icon and the European get it very, very close to the East Coast with some tropical storm force winds. But as of right now, there is not a single ensemble or model run that has a landfall, and that's going to stay that way. We've been telling you guys this is going to recurve, this is going to recurve, this is going to recurve. And once again, it is tracking west, northwest. It is on a northwest track almost at this point. It's not straight west, it's northwest. It's going to have to go through a recurve. It's inside the cone. It is going as forecasted here. Once again, why people have this idea that they think that it's going to hit the United States just blows my mind. We've given you guys the data. We've given you guys the facts. We've given you guys everything that you need laid out in front of you to see where it's going and what it's going to do, and people just can't take that sometimes, which is fine. It is what it is. This is forecasted to stay a major hurricane through Wednesday. Like I said, some strengthening over the next 24 to 36 hours. We will probably see this become a Category 4 hurricane once again this afternoon into tonight. Starts to weaken as it gets closer to Wednesday. Now, I do want to talk about this as well. There is going to be rip current issues. We also now have tropical storm warnings for the eastern islands of the Bahamas here. You can see those red, or not the red, but the blue outlines here popping up. That means we are going to see tropical storm force winds potentially in those areas there as Erin recurves out to sea. By Thursday or Friday, this will start to be zooming its way off to the East Coast, and we'll be done. We'll be out of here with this one. So I think if you're in Florida, I think if anybody on the East Coast can go about your plans during the week, just be careful. I don't know how beaches are going to go about doing rip current issues with double red flags and all of that stuff. There probably won't be a lot of beach time out there this week for a lot of people because of the rip current issues that are going to be out there. This is going to be very dangerous rip current issues. I mean, we're going to have a major hurricane about 200 to 300 miles off the East Coast here, so that's going to be pretty dangerous. Yeah, I was going to say beaches are probably going to be more than likely closed going into the week here, so yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna tell you guys this now that follow me. I will post a video, and this is what I typically do when we have these type of things happen. I'm gonna post a video on Thursday or Friday next week talking about all of the people that said it was gonna hit the East Coast when all of our data supported this. That's what I do. So I will post a video on Thursday or Friday talking about that because it's just crazy that everybody thinks that it's, it blows my mind. And we've been talking about this system for days and days and days and days. And we're like, it's going to recurve. It's going to recurve. It's going to recurve. Guys, once again, I'll say this again. When you have a stronger hurricane that forecasts rapidly than initiated, like I said yesterday morning, our forecast called for a Cat 4 at this time. It was a Cat 5. Yes, the storm was stronger than what it was forecasted. So be it. The water temperatures are warm. We knew that was potentially going to happen. That was the scenario, but we go off of the average forecast that we get, right? And so yesterday we woke up, everybody saw it trending west, trending west, trending west, trending west. Oh my gosh, it's going to hit the United States. No, it's not. There is a huge margin for error when we are forecasting storms that it's like this magnitude to this strength, and that happens. And so if there was any in doubt that this was going to hit the United States, there would be watches, there would be warnings, people would be getting told what's going on. I would be telling you guys what's going on. I have yet to say that we were going to have a landfall on the East Coast. It was a very, very small chance, and that is not going to happen. So every single ensemble on the European, the GFS, the Icon, every single one of our runs say that this will recurve, and so I believe that data 100%. So let me see some questions we got here in chat. Yeah, there's definitely going to be beach erosion. That is for sure. There could be some storm surge if the European or the Icon model validates, and this does hug the outside of the cone, there definitely could be some 60 to 70 mile per hour tropical storm force winds on the outer banks here. That's definitely possible. That's the only wind issues I see going into Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, I am very certain. I am very certain that this is going to recurve. I am 100% certain this is going to recurve. There is not a single data or model run that shows this not recurving. I go along with the data, guys. I don't go along with conspiracy theories or with false opinions. I go along with the data. That is how I work. So this is technology that everybody has access to. This is what the meteorologists use on your weather stations. This is what they use in your news stations. This is what they do in the National Hurricane Center. So if you don't believe me, don't believe me. Not my problem to deal with. You can go on and watch somebody else that gives out false information. Be my guest. What does a recurve mean? So what's happening basically is we have a Bermuda high that's sitting over here. It's a lot weaker. We've got a trough coming out of Canada that's going to dip down and pull this system basically out to sea is what's going to happen. But there's a stronger ridge over here in the central United States and East Coast that's kind of pulling this thing a little bit further to the west than what was initially forecasted a couple days ago. But this trough's going to come in and it's going to swoop it out. But we've already seen on satellite here this morning that northwestern turn. So this is right now, you guys can clearly see there is no west trend. It is northwest from here. This thing is moving northwest. It is inside the cone, if almost north of the cone. The further north of the cone this stays, the better it is because this thing goes out to sea quicker that way. So I'm not giving you guys false information. This is real-time data that the National Hurricane Center puts out. Everybody has access to this data. It's just, do you want to believe it? And people would rather believe conspiracy theories and that the government is lying to people and all this other BS. It's insanity. These cones have been right for a majority of my lifetime that I've been on this planet. There's been some times where storm systems have, in very rarely ever cases, gone outside the cone and defied meteorological explanations. But this system's gonna recurve. I promise, guys. Whether you believe me or not, that's on you. Yeah, so eyewall replacement cycle is pretty much complete. That's why we're going to see this re-strengthen back to a Cat 4 hurricane. We could even see this borderline Cat 5 again. It just depends on how massive. I mean, you guys can see this storm's expanded pretty significantly since yesterday. Yesterday, this time, we had a pretty compact Cat 5 hurricane. The outer bands were, this thing looked beautiful yesterday. Very photoshopped, almost looking hurricane yesterday. And now overnight, we went through that eyewall replacement cycle. It took a lot longer than, the initial forecast was. So you guys saw that weakening. It's a Cat 3 right now at 125 miles per hour. Pressure went back up. We are going to see pressure drop again. They are actually sending a Recon plane in there right now, and I'm going to turn this on so you guys can watch this with me. But the thing about it is this storm is going to expand even more. We're going to probably go through a couple more of these phases where this thing potentially, weakens and then re-intensifies, weakens, and re-intensifies. And that's because when a storm is trying to expand in size and eventually lifts to the north, it's going to get caught up with jet stream shear. And what that shear is going to do is it's going to expand the wind field out. And this storm's going to become a monster. I mean, we're going to have a huge looking hurricane by Tuesday or Wednesday. There's a very good chance. And remember, this cone only accounts for the center of circulation. This doesn't say where the whole entire, storm is going to be at. The center of circulation is where this cone is forecasted to go. And so we could see the center as far as here. We could see the center as far as the middle of the cone or as far as east of the cone. That's why it's called the cone of uncertainty. Say the cone, or say the center of circulation goes as far as the western side of the cone, we would potentially have maybe some outer bands or, some stronger winds on the outer banks of North Carolina. Absolutely possible. That's a plausible scenario. It's not off the question. But once again, a landfalling United States Hurricane Erin is not on the table, guys. Like I said, I would bet money on it, 100%. But if you're on the North Carolina coastline here, you definitely need to be watching. There could be some wind. There could be some outer bands. It's possible. But that's if that west track verifies, and we'll know more about that as we watch the system advance. But right now, Erin is hugging the eastern and northeastern side of the cone. So this is not on the west side. This is on the northern side. And if we continue to see that northwest trend, that would be best case scenario here. But it's expected to split between Bermuda and the East Coast. There will be waves on both sides of this. We could see 50 to 60 foot waves in terms of the impacts from this here, in terms of the wave height and as well as with the rip currents. But like I said, going out to sea here. So, by the way, guys, just a heads up, I have a whole team of mods in here and a whole weather team. If you're going to sit here and be disrespectful in the chat and you're going to get muted and blocked, and you can go watch somebody else. It's just that simple. You don't hurt my feelings. You don't hurt anybody else's feelings. You're just being an annoying asshole at that point. Don't do that. That's all I'm going to say one time. Be respectful to the mods in the chat, please. I appreciate all of you guys that are being respectful and nice, but One time I'll say it. So, anyways, you guys are here to get reliable weather information. That is my job, not to spit out false information or fearmonger. If you like to watch videos that fearmonger and give catastrophic scenarios, go watch somebody else. It's all over TikTok. We are watching the one behind this. Yeah, we're going to start to talk more about what will be Invest 99L here probably in the next day or two. Really, could be a couple days probably. Really in the next 2 or 3 days, we'll have Invest 99L. That'll be the next system we're watching behind Erin. So, do you think hurricane season could be like, let me read that comment again. Hold on. Do you think hurricane season could be like native season as far as forecasting? I mean, hurricane season and severe weather season forecasting are completely different because we can recognize when a severe weather pattern is going to happen a week or two out in advance mostly. It's just kind of getting those mesoscale details down into play and where those risk zones are going to happen at. Tropical season or hurricane season is a lot different because forecasting can change all the way up to the day of and hours of. We saw that happen with Helene last year where kind of wobbled to the right a little bit more, and then, you know, North Carolina and South Carolina ended up getting worst case impacts out of that whole event mostly. So, it's a little bit different. I wouldn't compare the two really per se in terms of forecasting. I would rather forecast severe weather than hurricane season per se, but it just depends. Well, we do know it's not just going to change path, guys. We're within a 72-hour window here where, like I said, all of our models, and I'll show you guys this, whether you believe it or not is up to you. These are the GFS ensembles. Every single one of them, all 51 members, have a recurve. Not a single one of them hit the United States. So, once again, that is the support that we are given. This is the data we are given. That is the European ensembles. You can even see, or sorry, that is the GFS ensembles. You can even see the next system ensembles popping up here. We'll talk more about that here. What we'll be watching going into next week. And then you've got the latest on the European ensembles from this morning / last night, because the new afternoon ones haven't updated yet. Also, agree on a recurve. You got two little outliers here that bring it just a little bit closer, but not a single one support a landfall, except for the next system is what we're watching that could potentially bring a system toward the United States. So there's no data, guys, that supports a landfalling Erin in the United States. I don't know why people don't believe that, whether you are biased to scientific information or whether or not you just want to believe in a natural disaster happening or wish casting it. I can't change people's minds on that, but like I said, the data presents that we are seeing a recurve. Until that data changes, which it will probably not, then that's what I'm going to go off of. That's just how that works. So, yeah, so the GFS model, you guys are probably, once again, going to see this already, and I've mentioned this already yesterday, with the system coming in behind Erin, with another tropical wave we're watching. This one does potentially have a better chance at coming toward the United States with the path that it could be on. It's not set in stone yet. Ensembles can show an out-to-sea curve. Some do show it going toward the United States. A lot of them do. But what you can't do, and I'm going to show this right now, this is what we cannot do, and you guys will see this posted on social media every single day until this is either happening or not happening. But you're going to see this. There goes Erin out to sea. Here comes our next wave going toward the end of the week. GFS model here decides to put a Cat 3, Cat 4 hurricane over 10 days out in the Gulf. That's a scenario we cannot believe. That is over 10 days out. There is no skill and no what's the word here? Professionalism in forecasting a system over 10 days out. That is a scenario that you will see on social media a lot. And that is not something that we can buy or believe. So, like I said, if you're believing stuff like that, then your forecasting is not the best. Just saying. You have to go off ensembles that far out at that point. So we've also got some severe weather today as well that we are watching. Marginal and slight risk today, both into Montana and Idaho. We've got a slight risk into portions of Iowa and into southern Minnesota. Portions of eastern South Dakota and North Dakota here getting into Nebraska as well. And then an East Coast marginal risk this afternoon as well. We've got a 2% tornado risk today for western Minnesota. Eastern portions of South Dakota. Wind threat at 15 and 5% for wind potential up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. And then we have that hail threat as well today. So just be mindful if you're out and about in the Midwest today in the high plains. We do also have severe weather forecasted as well today, please. So just be mindful of that if you guys are in those areas. I'm going to pull this up again because we do have, let me pull, where's our recon at? I think this is the newest one. Where's it at? Don't think it's quite in yet, so we'll have to wait until it updates. Fernand would be the next name on the list. Yeah, Connecticut's fine, guys. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna scroll back up in the comments and see if I've missed anything. Yeah, guys, here's another thing. You can't correlate other hurricanes to this hurricane. They're all different. They all take different paths. They all do different things. You can't relate two storms. I'm sorry. That's not how that works either. It is on the turn, yes. It is northwest now. Is there another hurricane coming on the 26th? No, there's not as of right now, no. That is a model run that is over 10 days out. Can't believe that stuff. No, this is not going to be like Hugo. No. I'm from North Carolina, guys. I lived there for 22 years. This is definitely not like Hugo, I promise. Yeah, that's a model run. That's the GFS model being in La La Land. If you guys are paying attention to the 26th of August and you're seeing the GFS put a Cat 3 plus in the Gulf, that's over 10 days out. Until we actually get a tropical depression or storm and the ensembles and models can grab onto that, that is an outlier at this point. That's false information on models. People are going to post that stuff all over social media so they can get money and clickbait off of it. Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. Guys, we are closing in on 100K followers, so each follow, I really appreciate it. Once again, we are not expecting a United States landfall, guys. This is going to get close to the East Coast, but not move inland. Waves and rip currents will be the main issue. If we get anything crazy out of it, it would be tropical storm force winds on the Outer Banks. That would be kind of worst case scenario. Thank you, mods. You guys are doing awesome. All the weather team, you guys are doing awesome. I appreciate you guys. That's a good thing, Steven. If you've only seen that stuff, that's a good thing. I am very sure, guys. Once again, they said that about Katrina. They said that about Irma. Guys, our forecasting 8 to 10 plus years ago was not the best. We have come a long way with forecasting hurricanes. I believe this stuff over anything. I 100% do. I wouldn't be on here giving you guys this information if it was false. Illinois is fine. I don't know why people think Illinois is going to be an issue. I can't stand people that say last time was bad. Once again, same issue. And by the way, the funding cuts don't take effect until next year. So funding cuts have not done anything to hurricane season this year. I posted videos about that, talking about that weeks ago and months ago. Yeah, the United States needs to be watching next week. Next week is going to be our week to be watching for what comes behind Erin. I am not worried about Erin slashing into the East Coast. What you guys need to be watching is the wave behind it. Everybody's concerned about Erin coming to the United States when it's not. Sandy was also a long time ago. Forecasting has gotten a lot better since that. And Sandy was a different occasion and different steering mechanism that happened with that. If you're on the East Coast and you're worried about it hitting and you think it's going to hit, then prepare. That's just be that simple. But I'm telling you guys, the data does not say it's going to hit. We've been saying that for days now. If you're on the East Coast or on the Gulf Coast, you need to be prepared regardless. Yeah, there could be some outer bands that hit the Bermuda or closer to the east coast of North Carolina, but it's not going inland. It just depends on the size of the storm. It's going to get ready to go through another strengthening phase here just a little bit. So we're already seeing that eye wall almost completely wrapped around. We probably will see a new eye pop out here pretty soon. This will jump back up to Cat 4 status, and then everybody will get freaked out again because they see it strengthening as it goes up the East Coast, which is what was forecasted also. PA, you guys, if you're in the United States, you are fine. I don't know why people are freaking out so much. You guys are going to be okay, I promise. I'm not worried. You guys are fine. That's fine, Maddie. You'll be wrong. That's cool. I think it's funny, too. People try to threaten and say, oh, well, you'll be right. You'll be wrong. It's the part of the weather, guys. Things happen. Yeah, Florida definitely needs to be watching out for next week. I definitely would say that. I wouldn't say it's panic mode, but you definitely need to be watching. Yeah, if you're on the East Coast and you're worried and, scared to death over this system that's not coming inland, that tells me you're not prepared for hurricane season. This happens every single year. You guys need to be prepared for hurricane season. That's the biggest thing, is there's not a lot of people that are prepared. That's why there's so many people that run to grocery stores and stuff last minute, because they're never prepared that on the beaches. I say Floridians are built for it. Yeah, you guys are. That's for sure. Yep, I am reading the comments, correct? Yes, I am. I'm also letting my mods answer the questions as well, because they're going to give you guys the exact same information as me. You guys can clearly see this is a northwest movement. It's not moving west anymore. It's moving northwest. What comes after Erin? Fernan, potentially. We've got a little bit of time to watch the next system. It's already off the coast right now of Africa. This is the next area that we are watching behind Erin. It's got a 30% chance of developing in the next 7 days. And then we've got, this is that tropical wave. So this number will probably go up. We'll probably see this increase to 40, maybe by tonight or tomorrow. And then eventually, as we get closer to about Wednesday or Thursday, this will probably be close to developing. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, and that's new too. If you just move to Florida, if you move to the East Coast, I 100% understand people being scared, and that's how it is. Like I said, it's social media, guys. You guys probably see more false fear-mongering videos than you see reliable, actual, decent videos or weather streams. You guys just got to learn to be able to pick and choose which is right and which is wrong. Yeah, so Erin is right now on the northern side of the cone pretty much. So she is moving northwest. She is inside the cone. Center of circulation is inside the cone. There is no worry right now. There shouldn't be a worry at all. Florida needs to be watching next week. The East Coast and the Gulf needs to be watching next week, yes. We will be doing updates every single day. We will be talking about this every single day for you guys. Yeah, they did shift the cone slightly west this morning because of the European and Icon ensembles bringing the center a little bit further over. But once again, there's no ensembles or models that support a landfall. It could get as far as 50 to 100 miles off the East Coast and still not make a landfall. Okay. No, it's not going to make landfall. No, it's not forecasted to make landfall, guys. I appreciate it, RGP. I appreciate it. All right, if anybody got any more questions, feel free to ask. We're going to wait for Recon data to come in here. I believe they are set to go in here pretty soon. They've got, pull it up here. Yeah, they'll be leaving the Bahamas here pretty soon. So we'll see that new data when it comes in. I'm going to go back and look at the GFS ensembles and see if we've got anything on next week. Yeah, so a lot of the model spread for next week is all over the place. So pretty good confidence going through Friday and Saturday that we're going to have a tropical system somewhere in this area by next Friday. It's just where does it go afterwards? So there's Erin's curve right there. That's where Erin's going out to sea, like as I mentioned. But our next tropical wave, until this gets defined and we get a center of circulation that's tightened enough and we start to see these models become more compact, it's going to be a little bit more struggling trying to get you guys information on next week so far. So could see a recurve next week, could see this go toward the Gulf, could see this go toward the East Coast. There's about a million different scenarios for next week. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen with next week's wave, nor does any other Met know that. But we will know over time, just like we did with Erin as things get closer. But I will say, this one would pose a more of a potential higher threat for the United States if this does in fact stay south. So that's what we're watching for. Oh, Jacqueline, if you're if you're in here, thank you for the dono. I appreciate it. I just saw that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, give W's for Jacqueline in the chat, please. I just now saw that come through. I appreciate it. All right. Once again, guys, next week, unknown. We don't know where it's going to go, and we don't know what's going to happen. Until we get an official storm that develops, I don't have answers for you guys. I don't do wish casting, and I don't do what-if scenarios. That's not how that works here. Thank you guys for all the follows, by the way. Every follow does matter, guys. We are super, super, super close to 100K followers. We are like less than 800 away, so I really appreciate you guys. Erin is headed out to sea, guys. I mean, the ensembles speak for itself as well. Erin is headed out to sea. Gonna make a close approach by the East Coast, but it's not going inland. Percent right now is 30. It'll probably go up over the next couple of days as we get confidence on models. All right. What's up, Jazzy? Yeah, South Carolina's gonna be okay. Just rip current issues. If this thing was still tracking way west, I would be more concerned, but it's on a northwest track, so we're good. Shear's gonna start to pull this thing to the north as well. All right, mods, you're doing awesome. I really appreciate you guys. Alrighty. So once again, that's our area to watch behind. We probably will get an invest, I would think, here pretty soon, the next day or two. So there is Erin. No, I'm saying northwest. Like this, the motion of the storm is northwest. Oh, you're fine, Court. No, Oregon, guys, Oregon is on the other side of the United States. What? It can jog, technically. Yes, it can. Yeah, I know they are. People are just, the questions today are just wild. There will be school, guys. There will be school for everybody. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I get you the troughing. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, so the GFS, for instance, actually, we'll go Euro because the European solution's a little bit more better. It's going to bring it a little bit closer as the models are kind of suggesting. Let's go to our height anomaly here. We'll talk about this. So you've got this lovely trough up here in Canada. It's going to swoop down. You've got a weakened ridge, because typically if this ridge was a lot stronger and forced to the west, this thing would be going to the United States. That would be the case. But because this ridge, the Bermuda High, is a lot weaker right now, and this trough is going to swing down out of Canada, it's going to bring Erin a little bit closer with that ridge kind of squeezing it in, and then that trough's going to pull it out. So it's basically splitting the two high pressures, and this trough up here that's in the northern Atlantic is pulling it because the forcing is a lot stronger with it. So there it goes. And then there's our next system potentially behind it that we're going to be watching. So that's what that's basically, it's that simple. It's really that simple. So. Yeah, Sky, that's not how that works either. The forecast has been pretty consistent. We've had some wobbles over maybe a little small area yesterday, but it's not just going to rapidly change like that. When you have model agreement pretty much 100%, it's going to stay concurrent. That's not how that works. We're within less than 3 days of this moving off the East Coast. It's definitely going to come to fruition. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so here's the thing, too, is no matter how many times I explain things to people and give them the data, they're not going to believe it. It's just how it works. It's weather. People just think, people have conspiracy theories. People have their own thoughts. Um, it is what it is. All of my socials, guys, are in my bio. Yes. My job isn't to, make everybody happy. My job is to give you guys that information. How you guys perceive that and take that is on you at the end of the day. All right. Is there another storm behind Erin? Yes, potentially. See, I got you guys. Like I said, if you've been watching me for a while, you guys know I mean business. I wouldn't have 99,000 followers for no reason that don't trust what I do. They do trust what I do. So you guys are in a good place here if you need that weather information. I cover all 50 states weather, all severe weather, all winter weather. Anything that's going on with the weather, I cover it. Pretty much. This is my full-time job, so. Yeah, it's smack dab in the middle of the cone, if not north of it. And honestly, I would prefer this stay north of the cone because then that means it's on the better side of things. So we would like to see that trend. Anyways. Thank you guys for the follows. If you are following, I really appreciate it. It's not a stupid question. No, you're good, yeah. They are actually they're flying a plane into it here in just a few minutes. They've got one on the way right now. So once that pops up, we'll be able to see new recon data coming in. No questions are dumb, guys. Yeah, they're doing actually a drop sounding in there. They need to do. I thought they were doing low-level recon. Let me see here. Oh, it's a drop sound, so this isn't recon. Dang it. I thought they were going to send another plane out. It'll probably be tonight then when they do it. Yeah, because that one's already over with. So it'll be later on this evening when they do a new one then. Yeah, the disturbance behind Erin currently right now has pretty decent model support. Then you have once we get past the next 5 days, uncertainty really starts to become a thing. Some of the models or some of the ensembles have this slamming into the East Coast next week. Some of them going into the Gulf, which would be worst case scenario. Some of them barely have it existing at all. We're probably not going to have a named storm until the end of next week. A lot of the models just really like this slowly developing. If this were to develop quicker, then that would change some things. But I would say this is consistent for the next 5 days. So the ensembles have this moving through the major development region over the next 5 days. We'll probably have a named storm by Thursday or Friday, I would think, if this does in fact start to develop. But until then, we'll have to wait. Yeah, about a week out, yeah. And if this were to move toward the United States, which it's very possible, we would be talking the last week of August. We would be talking the 26th through the 30th for United States impacts if there were to be a situation like that. So we've got over 10 to 12 days to watch again. So it's not like we're in panic mode after Erin. I know people are going to post these model runs, like I said, oh, a major hurricane's coming to the United States. Here we go again. Well, they were wrong about this one. All of these lovely fearmongers and people that said, "Oh my God, it's not gonna go east. It's gonna stay along the coast and go inland." Those people are gonna look real smart when this one's over with. I will be posting a video, guys, on Friday talking about that, by the way. So just a heads up on that. I've kind of halted myself from saying anything about it because I try to keep things very professional, but I will be posting a video mentioning that on Friday. Best bet. I'm so over that crap. I've posted 2 of those videos already this year. The fear-mongering and the monetization beggars out there are going to always happen. It's always going to be a thing because it's easy to do that. But yeah, it's wild. That's wild, Francis. Erin, you guys should be fine in Virginia. I appreciate you guys in here that are nice and respectful and actually care, because there's some people that come in here that just don't. I warned a lot of you guys, if you guys have been watching since severe weather season, or have been watching me for a while, I told you guys when hurricane season got here, the chat's always out of pocket, and you're seeing it in full force, so. I know you would, Ro. What's up, Sky? Just wait until we actually have to deal with a system coming into the United States, like physically coming in. It's when the chat really gets wild. We did 22-hour coverage of Helene last year on the day of landfall. I got on, I think, that morning at like 7 a.m. and we were on until 3 or 4 o'clock the next morning. And we had 3,000 concurrent viewers the whole entire stream, just consistently the whole time. It was the worst stream I've ever done in my life. People are rude, awful. I know it's social media, but for someone that's trying to help people and give people weather information and do coverage, because lots of news stations don't do coverage anymore these days, it was awful. That's all I'm going to say. It was awful. But welcome to where everybody thinks they know about weather when they don't. Guys, once again, if you're going to spread false information in the stream, you'll get muted and blocked. You don't have to be here. Just saying. Yeah, I think a close call to the East Coast is definitely on the table. I think it could definitely come a little bit closer, but a landfall is not in the picture. Severe weather is from the cold front coming in there, Ruggedy, not from the hurricane. I actually talked about that in my video today if you want to watch it. Yes, I know you guys got a lot of worries about the next one behind Erin. Yes, we do have another one behind Erin potentially. It's, like I said, not quite yet there. Our tropical wave just came off the African coast yesterday. This is our next wave right here. I've got it circled. It will be moving into our development region over the next 2 days or so. Once it gets in there by Wednesday, this is where we could see development happen at between Wednesday and Saturday of this coming up week. So we got lots of time to watch, lots of updates coming to you guys, lots of streams coming. I promise you guys are in good hands. Yeah, babe, you just block her at this point. She's just not, it's just how that is today. Thank you guys for all the gifts, by the way. I really appreciate it. Doesn't look like a north turn for Erin. Well, what makes you think that? Because she's moving northwest. Definitely moving northwest. Center of circulation's inside the cone. She is on her forecast track. I want somebody to send me proof that Erin is not going to turn. I would love someone to send me proof that Erin's going to go to the United States, because there's not. I have access to every single ensemble and data run that shows the potential for the system, and not a single one of them go to the United States. I would love for somebody to send me a legit article that's not outdated and is fake and made up from some fearmonger, and let me know what's going on with it, please. If somebody else thinks that they can do a better job than me, please be my guest. Erin is struggling with shear. Yeah, I did notice that as well. Yeah, that's what happened. Yep, that's right. Wow. Yeah, that's not a reliable source there, Ruggedy. I definitely don't trust that network. That's for sure. Yeah, like I said, I've not had any other information that nobody's been able to send me anything, so it's crazy. This is the same exact information that your guys' TV meteorologist will give you as well. You guys can follow me. By the way, just a heads up to everybody, I've been kind of mentioning this ever so slightly. We will be full-time only live streaming on my YT channel in March of next year. So if you follow me on TikTok, make sure you guys follow me on YT. All of my live streams will be moving from TikTok to YT once March of next year gets here. Well, Toyota, you can think that, bud, but I'm telling you, you're going to be wrong. For all of these people out here that thinks that the storm is going to not recurve, you're about to be in a real world of awakening after this week's over with. She might get close to the East Coast, but she's not going inland. It is on a northwest turn, yes. Yeah, once again, guys, you're seeing a lot of these TikTokers post stuff that don't have any weather knowledge. Don't buy that stuff. Yeah, it's been bobbling. She's bobbling because she's encountering shear, too. Brian, there's a lot of reasons. I'll do a video update on it later. There's a lot of reasons. It's, guys, my YT channel is my same username. It's Mesomat. It's also in my bio. I was looking at the GFS too today. I want to show you guys something. You want to talk about severe weather potentially coming into the picture going in toward the month of September? Um, have a look at this. I was looking at this. I posted this in my video today as well. If you guys haven't watched my forecast video today, definitely go watch it. We haven't seen troughing like this since May and April of last year, or not last year, of this year. But we've been seeing lots of ridging and ridging and ridging and ridging. Don't pay attention to the bottom of the screen where next week's tropical system comes in, because it's an outlier. But I want you guys to see something. You want to talk about major troughing coming in. Let me go to the GFS here. There it is. Don't pay attention to that because that's too far out. But this is what I want to show you guys. We might seriously start to really amp up severe weather season going into the first week of September. I don't like this type of a pattern. This is when we start to see our fall severe weather season really start to get going here. This ramps up our jet stream. Our jet stream really starts to get very, very hostile. And you can see lots of severe weather with these troughs that move in off of these elongated jet streams. So this is a little still a ways out, over 200 plus hours. But I do think severe weather is going to return significantly as we go toward the month of September and October, as it typically does during that fall severe weather season. So we've kind of had some breaks here and there, but I think big time severe weather, not these little mesoscale days, but big time severe weather will potentially return to the United States as we go towards the end of the month and beginning of the month. So we're not just going to be watching about the tropics. We're going to be watching as well for hurricane season as well. So like I said, this is a very interesting jet stream that may be setting up as we go toward the end of the month. So it just seems to be that very, very active times are in front of us in terms of the overall, magnitude of what the month's going to bring. So be quite interesting to see what happens, and we'll be tracking all that for you guys as well. Any monsoons for Arizona? Doesn't look like it right now. Just really hot weather. You got that ridge to the north of you guys there, so. Yes, she is moving northwest. Erin is moving northwest, not west. So this is not a thing. Not a thing. Moving northwest. This is that future track here. So East Coast, North Carolina needs to be watching out for rip currents, potentially some minor storm surge, depending on how far west this track is. We'll know more of that tomorrow for you guys on Monday. And eventually this is going to pick up speed as we go towards Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it'll be out to sea. Sandy was just a different breed, guys. Sandy was over 600 miles wide. It was a superstorm, is what it was considered as. I'll go back and I might actually post a video on it and do a description breakdown. There's a lot of storms that I want to do like a video edit on, and kind of do some research on and talk to you guys about. Sandy was a whole different type of situation. Way different situation. I'll have to go back and double check because I don't want to say something that's wrong, but way bigger of a storm too. Florida is definitely not a target. It's not going to Florida. It's moving northwest, not towards Florida. Once again, we could see the center of circulation go as far as the outside of the cone here, meaning, there could be some tropical storm force winds in the Bahamas, but it's just not a thing. I don't go off of news networks and the Weather Channel or all of these other things. I use actual raw data that comes in. Also, news networks and other weather accounts are also restricted on what they can say. No, it's not expected to hit the East Coast. There'll be impacts on the East Coast in terms of rip currents and waves, but not anything major. I love how we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings south of Pittsburgh as well. Love that for 70-mile-per-hour winds. So she's struggling with shear right now, though, so it doesn't look as impressive as it looked yesterday. All right, if you guys haven't followed, hit that follow button. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. I'll say something too, guys. I bet on TikTok, if you guys are scrolling, if you're new or if you're not new, you guys will see about a million videos. There are fearmongers and fake posts about this storm before you see my video, before you see somebody that gives reliable information. That's how that typically works too. So, what's up, Tressica? Good to see you in here. Watching from Jamaica. Heck yeah, I love to see other people watching. I appreciate all you guys watching on YT. I really do. You guys are freaking awesome. If you're on TikTok, do hit that follow button, guys. We are closing in on 100K. There's a lot out there. There are a lot of people. I am not one of those people. I give reliable weather information. I don't do fear mongering. You can watch all of my videos that I post every single day. It is all reliable information based off of raw data that comes in. I know a lot of people are nervous because of past storms that have happened and everything. And that's, you know, like I said, that's okay to be nervous and to be worried. But you have to believe the information that is given out there. We've got actual airplanes, guys. I want you guys to understand this. We have actual airplanes that go out there like they've been doing, going into the storm, getting raw data. That data gets plugged into our computer models, and those models validate and correct themselves as the storm goes throughout time. That's why we're seeing a recurve. That is why I am confident in a recurve. That is the biggest thing. The beaches, if you were from Florida all the way up to the northeast coastline, there will be rip currents, there will be higher waves, but there are not any landfall impacts. Yes, it is moving northwest right now. The Bahamas do have, there are some tropical storm warnings here for the southern islands of the Bahamas, down here towards Clarencetown and Cockburn Town. Other than that, it's just for winds up to 60, so that's expected. What's up, Katie? Yeah, we are watching that eyewall replacement cycle pretty much almost complete. It is struggling just a little bit as it continues to move north here, where we're seeing a little bit more shear interact with it. There's been some shear that's kind of helped keep this thing kind of at minimal here, and it's just not that great looking today. It's still a very strong hurricane, but it's not as impressive looking as it was yesterday. It's possible. It's possible for outer bands on the East Coast, yes, or of North Carolina, yes, it's possible. We won't know those answers till quite sooner. Yes, guys, this is Hurricane Erin. Yeah, it's possible, Tressica. I would be more watching than one behind this. Yes, guys, it is moving north. You guys can see that. Yes, it is forecasted to re-strengthen into back into a Cat 4 hurricane. They're calling for a Cat 4 by the next update here, which I believe once Recon does get in there later on tonight, we'll be able to see that. So we'll get the next update at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Outer bands won't be far enough to hit Florida. Erin actually has followed projections as far. The intensity track was what followed, and just because it was a stronger system a little bit sooner was why it shifted west more yesterday, but we had that margin for error to happen, and that was forecasted. There were models that did have it going further west, so this is gone to forecast. May not in terms of intensity, because that rapid intensification storm happened quicker, but that was also forecasted. It's now weaker than what was forecasted as well right now, so people aren't talking about that it's weaker than what it was supposed to be at this time yesterday. So whole different ball game here, but it is going northwest right now. It's not going west. It's not. It's a recurve, guys. I don't know. I guess you guys are all just gonna have to be proven wrong when this is done at the end of the week. So for anybody saying that the cone hasn't been right or the projections haven't been right, they actually have been. Just because there's a slight westerly turn or because there's an easterly turn or it strengthens quicker doesn't mean projections are off. It just means our outlier models were a little bit better with this. I think the next one we gotta really watch. The one behind Erin, we definitely need to watch. That could have U.S. implications next weekend. Definitely. Still a little far out to know, but I'm watching it very closely. Yeah, I know. Somebody will get rain and then a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust on the East Coast, and they'll tell me that I was wrong and that they can't trust me anymore, and that's fine. I'm not here to please everybody. I'm here to give you guys reliable weather coverage. If you don't like the reliable weather coverage and you don't like, true information and you want to have false information, go scroll on TikTok because it's all over TikTok. It's all over any other social media. I will be a degree meteorologist in 2.5 years. I'm in school right now. I have a lot of Mets that'll come in the stream. If you guys saw, I was live with Andrew Markowitz yesterday. He's a TV meteorologist in Boston. We were talking yesterday in a live stream together, and dude has a lot of respect for me. There's a lot of Mets that have a lot of respect for what I do, even though I'm not fully degreed yet. I'm still in school, so. But I've been doing weather coverage for over 8 years. All right. Georgia's fine. Yeah, I saw the deep convection is struggling to get around the south side of the storm there, Brian. That is true as well. Mod, you guys are doing awesome. I appreciate it. Oh no, nobody bothers me. It doesn't hurt my feelings when people disagree or anything. It's when you do weather content and you're in the field of weather, it's gonna happen. That's more times than not. I've had people send me threats in my DMs before. It's not shocking. Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, it's not hitting the US, no. Yeah, we're watching for the next one. Yeah, I saw that twisted. I saw that. I was not shocked it hit Cat 5 yesterday. It was gonna happen. We talked about, me and Connor both were talking yesterday and the day before yesterday about, if this gets going quicker and rapid intensification happens quicker, it would be possible. We knew at the end of the day it's possible. Guys, here's the thing. I myself, Connor knows, if you guys watch Connor's Climate Corner, he's another amazing streamer as well that does weather content on here. Me and him are really good friends. Me and him bounce ideas a lot. I talk to my team a lot. They'll tell you as well. I can know when something's gonna happen or if something's gonna go through rapid intensification before or sooner than anything. So I just don't mention a lot of that stuff on stream to you guys because people take it as they will. And my job is to give you guys reliable weather information that's accurate and real-time data and not give you guys just my opinions. So my opinion will get thrown in sometimes when I, feel like it's valid, but I'm not going to say, oh, this is going to go through this now and then, look like an idiot when it's not. So I keep those mostly to myself, but I wasn't surprised, no. The water temps are very warm, no shear, no dry air. It has the ocean to itself. It can do whatever it wanted. Now that we've got some things kind of interacting with it here as of shear, and it just looks kind of messier, that's a lesser of a thing now. Yeah, don't be scared. Be prepared. 100%. Oh, that's awesome, Tough. Heck yeah. Can you show East Pacific Atlantic satellite on the tropical tidbit? I mean, yeah, I can. I don't know why you want East Pacific. I would just show the Atlantic satellite. It's the same thing here. Oh, we can do this one here. I guess that's the combo one. Yeah, so you've got your... Hold on a second. You got a ridge over here in the plains. You got a low up here in Canada. You've also got a low up here as well. The Bermuda High is basically squeezed back down over here. And you've got your Cat 3 Hurricane Erin. It's going to split between where you've got your ridge over here. And that trough will come in and it'll sweep it out. Very, very simple. High might be just a little bit further to the west there, but Erin's so freaking massive. You also got a low way up here as well. Yep, not a problem, Brady. Aiden, it's not a hurricane right now, bud. It's not even a named storm yet. Yeah, the states will escape this one. The next one we're watching very closely. I am more concerned about the one behind Erin than I am Erin myself. I know, guys, we're 800 followers away from 100K. We're super freaking close. I appreciate you guys. We've gained 100 new followers already today. I really appreciate it. I promise, guys, I'm not trying to sound rude or anything. That's not my intentions whatsoever. I just, when there's common sense questions and people just don't believe anything that I say is where I get a little snappy, just because it's just like, it's common sense. I'm not going to sit on here, unlike half the other people on social media do, and give false information. This is a reliable, comfortable spot to be in to do weather coverage. That's never been a thing that I've done, and I've done this for 8 years. People either like me or they don't like me. Thank you guys for all the follows. I appreciate it. There's not a hurricane after Erin right now. It's just a tropical wave. I do give information without being rude. 100%. Yeah, it is taking time to move itself to the north. That ridge is squeezing it over just a little bit more. Very slow moving storm. God, I feel like we've been talking about Erin forever, too. Definitely not going to head to the Gulf. That's wild. If you think this storm's going to head to the Gulf, you need to go learn some Meteorology 101. That's wild. That's the most wildest comment I've seen so far today. I bet the waves do look mean in the Dominican Republic. Because a northwesterly moving storm's going to go into the Gulf. That's crazy. Sorry, guys. This is not Irma. All right. Yeah, Outer Banks, once again, will probably have the more major impacts here. We could see outer bands. We could see tropical storm force winds on the Outer Banks there. It's 100% possible. Just depends on how far west it goes. So once again, expected to stay Cat 4 hurricane, or go up to a Cat 4 hurricane potentially by tomorrow. And then by Tuesday, we're still watching this thing. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have most of our impacts up here. So we'll definitely be on here watching this on Tuesday and Wednesday for you guys. Just the warm water temperatures, no dry air, and no shear insert there. That was what did it pretty much. The second one behind it, we got a 30% chance at a tropical system developing in the next 7 days in this yellow box here behind it. And this is that tropical wave that we are watching right now. Actually looks pretty good over here with convection right now. So we'll kind of see what the ensembles do. I don't think the GFS is, I think the GFS has updated all the way. Yeah, it's a lot of predictions on where this next one can go. I don't know if the European ensembles... Yeah, European's not updated on yet on this. Excuse me. But that's what we're looking at. 30% chance in the next 7 days. Yeah, it's off land now. It's out here. Yep, it's out there. It's this wave right here. So, I mean, it kind of looks too, kind of looking at it. May already start to see some cyclogenesis trying to develop with it too. This will be interesting to see if it gets going sooner. Yes, the next one has a chance to hit the United States. It's possible, yes. I'm not going to say no. It's not going to make landfall anywhere, Haley, no. Yeah, it just, yeah. I guess everybody's just gonna have to learn when this storm is over with that their thoughts of it hitting the East Coast are wrong. So I'll just let people just get to that point at the end. No, it's not gonna hit Texas right now. I don't know about the next one behind it, guys. That's unknown at this time. All right, I'm going to stay on here, guys, just a little bit longer. I will do another update later on this evening into tonight. If you like reliable weather coverage and updates, I do videos all day long. I do posts. I do live streams. We'll be keeping you guys updated. We'll probably do our stream later on tonight, probably closer to 8 or 9. I want to get in and do when our ensembles update officially. We'll definitely be covering tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday because this will be moving up the East Coast. Or in the waters up the East Coast. So I got to use my words very carefully because some of you guys take what I say literal. But it'll be moving up the East Coast there. We'll be watching for waves, rip currents, and then we'll really just watching what will be Invest 99L behind that. So hitting Iowa is wild. That would be crazy. So I appreciate all the follows, guys. We are closing in on that triple digit number. Super, super close. It happens. It's hurricane season. Some people just can't comprehend stuff. That is also true as well, Rodney. Yes. Yes, they are. Yeah, we got a lot of things to figure out on the next one. It will never fail you guys. If you want to hear some wild stuff about weather, get on TikTok. People will tell you all about it. I don't do that here, though. There is so much false information, so much fear mongering out there. It just blows my mind. And those videos get 500,000 views, and mine get like a 10th% of that. I'm not here for views. I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to just be here for you guys, give you guys good weather coverage, do it my job, and that's what I'm here for. Yeah, so it's just a recap here. Hurricane Erin is a Cat 3 right now, expected to strengthen back into a Cat 4. We're seeing that eyewall replacement cycle pretty much wrap up here, so we should start to see this storm continue to move to the northwest. It is on a northwest trend. It is expected to curve out to sea here. It'll get close to the east coast, but not hit it. For everybody that assumes that it's going to hit there, still boggles my mind. We'll be doing updates on this throughout the day, today, through tomorrow, through the rest of the week until this thing is out of here. This is what I want you guys to be paying attention to for next week. This is all eyes. Pay attention to the yellow blob behind it, our yellow lemon. This is where we could see implications toward the United States at the end of next week and into the following week of the last week of August. So we got a 30% chance of a tropical depression or storm developing in the next 7 days in this yellow shaded region behind Erin. We'll keep you guys updated. The European and the GFS ensembles have split scenarios right now. Some take it out to sea and recurve like Erin. Some slash this into the United States. So we got a lot of things to watch, a lot of time to watch. It's not time to panic. If you were on the East Coast this weekend and going into next week, just be mindful. Rip currents and beaches will probably be closed. Rip currents will be issues. Wave heights will be very, very wicked. There could be some tropical storm force winds going into Tuesday and Wednesday along the East Coast, depending on how close this gets, maybe even some outer bands, but I'm not expecting a landfall anywhere else. We should keep this landfall free. So, but that's my input on it, guys. Yeah, it's not hitting Florida. Florida's almost out of the equation at this point. So once again, people are either going to believe me or they're not going to believe me. If people believe in conspiracy theories or they believe that that this is being controlled into the United States, those people are just don't have brains and can't process things properly and think well. But the data shows that we are getting an East Coast recurve. That's the data. That's what it presents, and that's what I'm going to go with every time. So. Maryland's safe. Yes, you're fine in Maryland. Yeah, people don't listen. That's the thing. People hear what they want to hear, and they interpret it the way they want to interpret it. They can't just take it literal. These models have not been wrong, but that's crazy, Jake. I would love to also see proof that these models have been wrong. If you're going off of dermatistic model runs, those have been wrong because they're one single model run. You have to go off ensembles, and the ensembles have been pretty good with this, actually pretty well. We've had some minor adjustments in our cone, kind of shifted west and east throughout, but that happens when you have a hurricane. When you have a large hurricane and you have shifts in strength and shifts in a little bit of a track, you're going to get updates, but it's not been anything drastic. Timing on the AOI, Mike, for you, yeah. So it looks to be this area to watch here in the yellow. Will be about between, I would say, Wednesday and, well, it's between now and technically next Friday and Saturday. Um, so it looks to be, if we're going to get something in the United States, it would be the following week. We're talking the 26th through the 30th. But if you're like vacationing, it's not a great time to do it next week if you're in this area. So beach, Daytona Beach will just have some surf issues and some rip current issues mostly. Yeah, the mods in my weather team do a great job at answering questions in the comment section. That's what they're here for. I really appreciate them. They do awesome, awesome, awesome. I can't rule out if, let's just say this happens, right? So here's the thing. If Erin is expected to strengthen again to a Cat 4 hurricane, borderline Cat 4, maybe getting close to low end Cat 5, we'll see. If Erin can get itself together and stop messing around like it's doing right now and getting encountered in shear and wibble-wobbling to the northwest here, then maybe we can get an attempt again at a pressure reading lower than what it was, if not at what it was yesterday. But right now, I don't see that happening. We'll probably get a Cat 4 hurricane upgrade. The second I start to see this storm strengthen and I see Recon get in here this afternoon, we'll get back on here and start to talk about it. But right now, northwest trend, Cat 3 hurricane, expected to become a Cat 4 again later on tonight through tomorrow, and make its approach northeast eventually as we go into the beginning of next week. So. But I'll be watching. I've got this stuff up and I'll be watching it all day, so. If it strengthens, it will not move west, guys. Just because the storm strengthens doesn't mean it's going to move west. That was a different situation yesterday. This is expected to strengthen and move northwest because it is starting to get pulled on by the trough to the north of it. And it's also feeling the weakness in the ridge to the east of it. There is more mechanisms at play here than just a shift to the west because of strengthening. Puerto Rico, you actually will be having conditions eventually start to get better over the next 24 hours. Still seeing those tropical storm force winds, though. Some models have this getting closer to 100 to 200 miles off the coast. Some of them a little bit farther. It just depends. We're going to have to track this tomorrow and see how as it turns what it does. That's the biggest thing. I don't know quite yet when, and how far it's going to be off the East Coast yet. We still got a little bit of a spread in our ensembles. It is actually going to curve north. Yes, it is going to curve north. But all right, guys, I am going to get ready to wrap up stream. I'll have another update for you guys later on tonight. I'm gonna get off here and eat some food because I've not eaten anything yet today. I'm still sick and trying to get over my sickness of whatever I have. I'll keep you guys updated if anything major changes happen. I'll post a video. If not, we'll see you guys back in here tonight. Thank you guys for all the taps. Thank you for all the follows. We are getting super, super close to that 100K goal. I appreciate y'all over on YT as well. Thank you guys as well for joining in. Other than that, mods, care team, radar team, safety team, leads, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. We'll be back in here again in a couple hours for another update. Other than that, guys, be safe, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.